my name is Kaylin.
And I'm Bernadette.
Welcome to What's Your Problem, where we discuss current issues in distance learning and education.
Well, it's that time again. Core ability review season at the college, and we all know what that means.
Wait, Bernadette, what does that mean?
Core ability review? Everyone knows that the college has 8 core abilities that students who graduate from Schoolcraft College are prepared to perform on the job or in their next educational institution.
I'm not so sure. The other day, I was in the LA mailroom and I heard some confusion about the core abilities.
Hey Jason, what's up?
Oh, hey, Brett. So I got this email asking me to submit artifacts for core ability review. What even are these core abilities, and why should I bother submitting my students' work?
I got that email too. Turns out these core abilities are like the WYP skills our Schoolcraft community agrees students need for success in their future. It's like the red velvet rope of education.
Sounds like an administrative headache to me. How does it relate to me and my class? I already teach the core competencies, right?
You're onto something. The course competencies are like puzzle pieces that fit into the core abilities picture. They're all about applying what students learn in different situations, like a real-life Tetris game.
Okay, but shouldn't students figure out how to apply these abilities on their own? I'm not seeing the connection to my assignment.
The million-dollar question. It turns out students learn better and transfer their skills more effectively when teachers are explicit about what they're aiming for. By being explicit about how these are connected in the classroom, students are more likely to effectively identify and transfer their learning in their future coursework and their professional lives.
I never thought about it that way. I just assumed students would see the same connections I do. I list the competencies on every assignment.
Absolutely. I think that's how many of us who teach learned ourselves. So it seems kind of excessive to draw attention to these learning behaviors that seem, invisible to us. We can help our students learn and succeed beyond our classroom by being clear about what we're teaching and how they can use it. Cue that aha moment.
Fair enough. I think I can make those connections more explicit for my students, but I do have to cover all 8 of these abilities. That sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, believe me, you don't have to be a core ability octopus. Each course syllabus specifies what abilities are relevant. It's like a buffet. You choose the dishes that fit your course. Just make it clear to students how your assignments contribute to those core abilities. And then, bon appetit.
Got it. According to the Schoolcraft website, one of the core abilities for my course is demonstrate social and cultural awareness.
Oh, that's cool. One of mine is work cooperatively. And guess what? There's a rubric for each core ability on the website too.
Look at that. One of my rubric indicators is analyze the impact of globalization on cultures. In my class, we dive deep into globalism versus globalization. It's like the incomparable action film Predator, except cultural ideas are stars and the economic impacts are the explosions.
Whoa, mind blown. I bet your students have a lot to say about that blockbuster topic.
Oh, they're totally hooked. They're like movie buffs discussing their favorite films. So how do I get in this core ability review action? How do I share my students' work and assignments?
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just reply to the email and the core ability review team will guide you. I did it last year and it was a piece of cake. I sent in my assignment and some student responses. Plus, I even got feedback that helped me fine-tune the assignment and understand the core abilities better. It's like getting a director's cut of your teaching skills.
Wow, this email has me thinking it's all about institutional assessment, but it turns out it's a win-win for both my teaching and my students' learning. I'm glad we had this enlightening chat, but hey, I still have some burning questions about artifacts, rubrics, and the reviewing process. Is there somebody out there that can help me with these questions?
What a coincidence! I happen to be here with Joseph Nunez, who's a member of the core abilities team, who probably knows what he's talking about. Hi, Joseph.
Hi there.
Let's start it off with, what is a core ability rubric and what do instructors need to do with it?
So core ability rubric is, there's a number of other core ability team leaders, and periodically we get together and we say we have these core abilities, what should be the standard by which they're judged? So we want to be able to assess them so we can take them to the classroom setting. Let's say we have a class in biology and we have a core ability such as mine, demonstrate creative and critical thinking. So we want to say, well, how can we test that they are doing something as this? So we make this rubric, which will then test one of the core abilities, like I said, mine. And so they need to have certain criteria that need to be assessed on this rubric says exactly what are these criteria that we have deemed, the core ability team leaders have deemed, is going to test this ability.
Okay, and can you explain what the MET, not MET, and NA mean on the rubric?
Okay, so what the MET means is that, so each assignment, each faculty member gives an assignment to a student and that they think is going to satisfy this. And when we get the assignments back, there are a number of faculty who look at this and says, this assignment is either A, met, B, not met, or not applicable. Met means it satisfies a requirement. Yes, we can check the box. Yes, faculty have the appropriate assignments, and what they've asked satisfies a rubric. Not met means the opposite. So yes, they made an assignment, but what they've asked does not satisfy the rubric requirements. NA means it wasn't quite asking the right question. So it could be, the assignment's fine, it's just that it was apples to oranges. They're not looking at the rubric, so they're not answering the rubric question, if that makes sense.
Okay, and is that what happens after you share students' work, or?
Yeah, so like I said, so all the faculty, so in one semester, we will solicit from the faculty to get these assignments, and then the faculty will submit it to us. Then there's a group of faculty who will then, a separate set of faculty, who will then evaluate all these assignments, and we will say, okay, do these satisfy or not? Then the following semester, we compile all this data and say, okay, out of all the classes we asked, this percentage met, not met versus NA. So that's not till the following semester, and the faculty actually are never like directly told, if they were met, not met. They will just get the overall data that we compile. Because we don't want to make, one of the things with the core ability is we don't want to make this like a finger wagging, you're not doing it right. We want to make it more, what's the overall trends. And if the faculty can then ask us, how we think of the assignments they submitted to us.
Great. So really anything else you'd like to share about the core ability reviewing process?
The biggest thing is that we are trying to get faculty who are going to be working with, so this core ability faculty member is going to be working with the general faculty at Schoolcraft to answer questions like, what is a good assignment? So if they get this email that says, you're going to be assessed for demonstrate critical thinking, they have no idea what this means. So we are trying to get a faculty member whose job it is to talk to the other faculty and say, hey, so faculty A can say, I don't know what the heck this even means, what an assignment is. I have 20 assignments during the semester. Which one even fits? So they can ask this individual, and this individual will then work with the faculty to better tailor assignments to satisfy the rubric so they won't get the NA, so they won't get the not mets.
Thanks for all that great information, Joseph. I feel like that just really clarified all of it for me. But I also wish we had an expert who could talk about student artifacts.
Indeed there is. I'm here with Anna Elson, part-time biology faculty and member of the Core Abilities team, to share more. Anna, what's the importance of sharing examples of students' work?
So if you don't share examples of students' work, we don't have any data to analyze and to show the Higher Learning Commission to help with accreditation. And so this is important that we do this. For that reason, it's also important because it helps the college and you, as part of the college, know how our students are doing at learning these important skills. And so it's really critical that we have our faculty submit this work.
Yep. And how does the process work for submitting examples of students' work?
Over the years, we've been working hard to streamline the process. And so if it's been a few years since you last tried to submit artifacts, good news, it's gotten easier. No more all of those like tons and tons of stickers that you have to stick on. No more making lots and lots of copies with the stickers. We've made it a lot easier. You can submit digital assignments digitally, following the instructions given in the email telling you about this, or if you have hard copy assignments, you can bring them physically to the Office of Curriculum and Advancement, the OCA. I hope I got that name right. And they will make the copies there for you. So it's very simple now. They do all of the anonymizing and coding for you. So we really, really want you to eliminate any barriers that we can to getting faculty to participate.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
nice,
I know.
easy, streamlined process But where could faculty find help in designing or submitting their assignments?
There's a lot of help available. If you contact the OCA, they will point you to people, but probably easier. I mean, all of us are required to be on Blackboard nowadays, and if you go on Blackboard to organizations, you already should be a part of Assignment Central. And if you go there, you can find more information than probably ever you wanted to find about the core abilities. You can find our old data, you can find reports, all sorts of things about it, but probably more importantly for you, you can find the rubric for every single core ability, as well as example assignments for every core ability, and contact information for people to contact. And there are lots of people. The OCA, as I said, as well as each core ability has a faculty member who's designated to be kind of in charge of it, called the core ability team leader, and their contact information for each core ability is found on Assignment Central. So is and so soon will be information for contacting core ability representatives who are other faculty members who have also received some training in making sure they understand the core abilities. And you can also ask around in your department, because many departments have assignments floating around that were designed to meet the core abilities within your department. And so who knows, maybe one of your colleagues has done this before and has something ready to go that they would be happy to share with you. I know when I first started working here, people forgot to tell me that initially, but then I started asking around and they were like, oh yeah, you didn't know about this? And yeah, stuff already existed.
Oh.
Yeah, which was a nice surprise. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and Assignment Central also, we have been working on updating Assignment Central over the last few years. So if it's been a while since you've been on Assignment Central, do know a lot of things have been cleaned up, and we've been trying to make it more user-friendly. So get excited about that. And if you have any ideas about other ways that we can make it more user-friendly, please let someone at OCA or one of the core ability team leaders know, because we'd love to make it better.
Perfect. Assignment Central, one-stop shop for everything core abilities. That's nice.
Seriously, like I said, you can look at past data too if you're a data person. And
Oh, nice.
there are example assignments. There's explanations of like what the core ability means. There's the rubric that tells you what we're looking for. There's so much on there.
And then finally, during the process for sharing examples of students' work, faculty are asked to fill out a cover sheet. And what's the importance of that, and what should they include in that cover sheet?
So that cover sheet is really useful for when we are reviewing the artifacts. So every artifact, well, I should say student assignment, student work that is shared with us, we have at least two faculty members, two faculty reviewers look at it to decide based on the rubric, did that student show enough evidence of having met the core ability that we can grade it as met? Yay, this student has learned this core ability. It goes on that side of the data. Or does it not? Or can we not tell? Reviewers have to do that. And if you fill out that cover sheet appropriately, that will make it easier for us to tell, which is very useful. And so that cover sheet basically provides whatever background information is necessary for that reviewer to understand your student's work. Because the reviewers might not be from even a related discipline at all. So they might not know anything about your field. And so I know, for instance, I once was reviewing for Use Mathematics, and I was just given a bunch of differential equations with no answer sheet and no background. It was just the student's work. And it was very hard for me to evaluate, did the student do this correctly or not? Because it's been a long time since I did differential equations, and I didn't even know what the problems were. And so usually things aren't that dry. I think that I just couldn't evaluate those ones because I didn't know. So please don't put people in that position. Or maybe there's background information about the book that the students read, or about whatever historical information, whatever background the reviewer needs in order to be able to understand the assignment is good to include, as well as any other details that might help the reviewer understand the assignment. So what instructions were they given, especially if those instructions help us figure out whether the core ability is met, as well as did you observe anything. So for instance, with work cooperatively, sometimes one of the things we need to know is, was there conflict within the group? And so you can make that a lot easier for us to know, because we didn't actually watch them work, by saying in your cover sheet, no groups had conflicts, or only these groups had conflicts, and this is how it went. Like sometimes you can provide that background information about what went on that we can't be there to see, to help us more accurately evaluate it. So these cover sheets are really useful. However, you don't have to include like your entire lesson and your entire PowerPoint or your entire textbook. Just whatever, try to really think minimally about what is the bare minimum that I need to include. So for instance, for that differential equations assignment, that would have been nice if they had included the problems and an answer key. That would have been helpful. For something bigger, like a biology assignment, maybe explain like, okay, what was this cell supposed to look like? What were they supposed to be looking for? So anyway, any clues you can give us are great.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Anna, for sharing the information with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This really helped me understand sharing students' completed assignment as artifacts that demonstrate their learning of the core abilities.
What's Your Problem wants to hear from you. If you have an idea you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, or if you just want to drop us a line, send us an email or follow us on Twitter.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.